of accounts of his income and expenditure.
There must be accountability. With no accountability and inadequate supervision, then the law of the jungle prevails, survival of the fittest. And it seems as if, according to the auditor's report, you were running a welfare scheme.
The point is you yourself started disregarding your own policy because you knew in your act that you're supposed to be giving financial statements to the National Assembly in the first 3 months of the year. It's in your act. You disregarded it.
At a point, the police were involved to speed up pending investigations on alleged misappropriation of taxpayers' money, resting on the heads of former staff and their accomplices.
There's a case of theft,
Yes.
alleged theft.
Yes.
Now, it was reported to the police for quite some time.
Yes.
And from the report, the man has acknowledged that he has taken the money, according to the report, which we are not sure, but we are taking it by that face value. Our concern actually is, what has the police done with the gentleman to get this money back from him or be prosecuted? Now, what we can assign you to do is, you have got the information, get back to your office, and get us information on this particular issue, so that we know where you stay, where the police investigation is, because we will not allow people to tamper with public funds and just go and sit at home because you are dismissed.
In fact, the matter still letters. It was in 2010 up to now. You see, I think the matter is more of what is explained than what is actually on the books itself.
What we are seeing today, what we are witnessing today, is a total disappointment of the Gambian youth.
They were thanked for a successful 2012 NACOF, and their reports defer till further notice, owing to unbearable abnormalities in their report.
We are aware of there are a lot of questions to be answered. There are a lot of problems we must look into. And we need feedback on some other issues that we have not got feedback on. In these circumstances, we are deferring you to another date to be communicated to you by the clerk of the National Assembly.
Babukar Kamara, GRTS.
The Director General of the President's Alternative Medical Treatment Program is pleased to inform the general public that the 6th anniversary of His Excellency the President's breakthrough will be celebrated on Thursday, the 17th of January 2013 at the July 22nd Square at 5 p.m. prompt. All senior government officials, cabinet ministers, the private sector, and the general public are all cordially invited to attend. The Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Employment and Regional Integration and the Gambia Revenue Authority, on Tuesday held a sensitization meeting on the introduction of the value-added tax. The forum that brought together people from the government and the private sector was to raise awareness of how the VAT can be put into practice. Aissatou Mane has details in this report.
Value-added tax, as the name implies, is a tariff which replaces the sales tax on goods. The introduction of the VAT has suddenly increased general concern among Gambians as prices of basic commodities spiral out of control. It is against this backdrop that the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, in partnership with the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Employment and Regional Integration and the Gambia Revenue Authority, held a forum to enlighten people about the value-added tax. Officials took time to make comprehensive explanations to ensure proper understanding of the new tax system, especially among the business community. The value-added tax, according to officials, only applies to registered businesses whose income is up to 1 million dalasi. For lesser business outside of this income bracket are exempted from the payment of the VAT.
We all know that the value-added tax is a consumer tax, but it is not to be borne by the person who goes to buy. Rather, it replaces the sales tax, which really I think the GRA has done a lot of work in sensitizing people about. But because of that concern, and really government is not here to punish people twice. You don't have to pay for a commodity twice, or you don't the prices don't have to really escalate for reasons that are not substantiated.
The Commissioner General of the Gambia Revenue Authority explains the rationale behind the introduction of the value-added tax.
GRA staffs are working closely with these businesses to ensure that they do not charge VAT on exempted goods, that their prices of all the taxable goods is VAT inclusive, and that they issue receipts showing that they are registered and then the VAT amount included in the VAT prices. For the service industry, the transition has gone quite well. Hotels and restaurants have found the registration from sales tax to VAT quite straightforward. While all pricing is supposed to be VAT inclusive, we recognize it will take time for some restaurants to redo their menus. An agreement has been reached with the banks that will benefit all businesses, resulting in reduced administrative costs for the banking community and simplified receipt process for businesses claiming input tax credit on their bank fees.
Esa Jallo, Commissioner for Domestic Taxes, urged the business community to welcome the introduction of the VAT with sincerity, as the system is here to help advance the cause of both the business entrepreneur and the consumer.
The way the sales tax used to happen, so if this is a business that is now required to charge sales tax on the supplies that it makes in the local economy, it means that by the time it charges sales tax, it is charging it on a value that already has sales tax, the import sales tax. But the VAT is designed in such a way that every VAT you have paid as a registered business, you get a refund for it through the input tax credit mechanism.
The Gambia Revenue Authority and stakeholders are pushing to increase awareness of the VAT in a bid to improving understanding of people with regards to its introduction in the country. For Grts News, I am Aisatumane.
That report there by Aisatumane takes us to our first break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the international news. Stay tuned then.
Under the distinguished patronage of the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya AJJ Jammeh, the APRC party presents a fundraising gala dinner and dance. This Valentine's, a special APRC treat with superstar Vivian Shedid to share love moments with you and your loved ones.
Hey, Valentine people, I'm Vivian. I'm coming.
Special attraction, Philip Monteiro for the first time in the Gambia. And Saturday, February 16th is an exclusive dance at the Paradise Suites Penchumi Hall. It's Valentine's weekend, so enjoy seasonal love with the APRC. APRC for peace and love. It's Valentine's weekend, so enjoy seasonal love with the APRC.
Welcome back to the news. French forces have intensified air raids against militant targets in Mali. Sources in Paris indicate plans of a possible increase in the number of French troops to a total of 2,500 troops. Overnight, French air sorties targeted the hotly contested town of Jabali, which fell into the hands of insurgents during heavy clashes with Malian government troops. CNN has more.
Last year, a group of Malian army officers appeared on state TV. Frustrated with what they termed their government's inadequate support in their fight against Tuareg rebels, they staged a coup. It was meant to be a short-term solution.
We wish to restore the power of a democratically elected government as soon as national unity and integrity are re-established.
Instead, it sets off a chain of events that has now led Mali's interim president to seek international military intervention. The Malian state has been fighting Tuareg separatists in the north for decades. But the Tuareg were re-energized when hundreds of fighters who'd been in Muammar Gaddafi's army returned home from Libya with their weapons.
We have very sophisticated weapons from the Libyan army that were smuggled into the Malian desert by groups, and they have now taken a foothold and don't want to let go. And it is so, those weapons are so sophisticated that the Malian army really doesn't stand a chance to be able to fight against them.
But it wasn't just the Tuareg who saw an opportunity. The Al-Qaeda-linked militant group Ansar ad-Din quickly partnered itself with the Tuareg and established harsh Islamic rule.